Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, 3 o'clock. That means it's Tech Tuesday. Today's topic is fiber diagnostics. Be right back. Thanks for joining me for Tech Tuesday. Rick Uzzi here. So fiber. That's what we're hearing. Everybody's putting fiber in the ground. Even cable operators now are looking at fiber. I was just seeing recently a story today, I think, where WOW, cable operator, is like doubling the amount of greenfield deployments that they're doing, and those are really primarily going to be fiber. So cable operators are doing it, as well as, of course, telcos. You got AT&T out there, you got Verizon doing it, you got all of these independent operators and others that are deploying fiber all over the place, especially with all of the federal dollars that are coming our way. So I want to talk about fiber diagnostics today, and specifically our TruVizion product. And hopefully this is going to work. So I'm going to be showing our something on our development platform, because I was looking and I don't have good examples of anything that I can show on our production platform where I would be showing, or without showing customer information, without showing actual subscribers, those kinds of things. So on our development platform, I think I can show some things, although this is a development platform. So it was working half an hour ago, and then 5 minutes ago, right before I was bringing it up again, I could not log in, because being a development platform, the developers will, shut it down, restart, and do all kinds of stuff. So this is the danger zone. So if it stops working, I'll show something else. Today, I'm just going to give kind of an overview. I'm going to go into more detail on coming weeks on some of the things and what they mean. But today, I just wanted to show this for folks that aren't familiar with. So this is TruVizion, and this started out as a DOCSIS diagnostics application, because we were doing that first. Before fiber was really taking off. This has been around for over 10 years. So it started out that way, and there were lots of good standards with DOCSIS, so we were able to very easily, well, not easily, but more easily create a diagnostics platform that could access all the equipment that's out there, as long as it was DOCSIS compliant. A little bit more of a challenge with fiber, because you've got different systems, but we are supporting fiber. We're supporting Calix, Adtran, a few others right now. So we do support those platforms, plus still across diagnostics platform, meaning that if you get TruVizion, if you're a cable operator and you're doing both, so you've got lots of DOCSIS plant and you're also rolling out fiber, you can actually look at diagnostics for both your DOCSIS network and your fiber network on here in a very similar format. So it makes it easy. One pane of glass, very similar look and feel. So I'll show a little bit of that today, and just give you an idea of how this works. And one of the things on the fiber side that I wanted to point out is, when you have a fiber diagnostics application, maybe an element management system that you're looking at from a specific vendor, number one, a lot of times it's specific for that vendor. So if you're kind of locked in to either the vendor for that, or you've got different applications if you've got different vendors. This, again, we support several different fiber platforms, so it's the same interface for those. And a lot of times those systems that you get from the vendor are very complicated, kind of hard. You got to drill in all different places to get the information you want. It's really only suited for maybe your higher level kinds of folks, engineers, that kind of thing, to be able to look into the OLT and see what's going on. And you can't really usually look all the way down to the ONT and get a lot of information about the subscriber. So it's not really suited, or those systems are not really suited for lots of different people within the company, whereas this system was specifically designed to be intuitive, to be able to be something that could be used for multiple people within an organization, from your call center staff to field folks, field technicians, to your engineering staff in the head end or in the central office. So the first thing you see here is there's what we call a smart search. So you can actually type in, I was typing in a last name here earlier, so that's popping up, but you can type in either a phone number, email, last name, or MAC address, and it's supposed to recognize, based on what you're typing in there, what you're searching for. Or you can just select something like phone, email, last name, or MAC, and then you can type that information in here, and you can pull up a subscriber. You can also click that plus button, and you can put in a lot more information. If you want to search for, the person's last name and what street they live on, you can type in part of the information. You don't have to type in everything, just something that's going to match. And you can hit submit. If you've got more than one location, you might have to select that. In this case, we've got different what we call affiliates or our service providers in this development platform. And actually, it's just different instances that we have in this development platform. So I would have to select something there in order to submit that. But you can see you can do serial number, ONT identifier, MAC address, plus your usual customer information. So the way this is to be used, unlike, again, a lot of the diagnostics tools for fiber, is we load the subscriber information in here. So we can get that from you many different ways. And once it's in here, then you can search for the subscribers that you want to search for, pull them up. And again, for the call center, it's a wonderful tool. I'll show very quickly just what some of the screens look like today. I'm going to go into more detail in those screens later on. But right here we've got Network Navigator that I'm just going to go to pull up something so I can easily get to a customer. And you can see here, this is where we've got different affiliates in here, but this is where we'd select the particular platform that we're looking at. You see we've got a CMTS in here. And just to give you an example, I'm just going to pull this up real quick. This is a diagnostic screen for a CMTS. So you can see that we've got, again, this being our development system, and seeing this panel's not loading, but you've got upstream or downstream levels. You've got all kinds of information here. Some things very related to cable modem service, like code word errors, right? So that's not going to be something that you would have on fiber. But you'll notice when I go to the fiber, the OLT, which hopefully is working now. I'm going to click on the fiber, and this will load, and you'll see it has a very similar look and feel. And it does take a little bit longer to load some of this stuff, but you'll see it popping in here. So we do have downstream statistics, upstream statistics. We've got bandwidth utilization on the upstream and downstream, and I'll show here at some point on a future broadcast that you can click in here and see who makes up that bandwidth use. You've got PON status, temperature, transmit power. You've got some online status of what devices are online, offline. If there's any degraded, you can click on these numbers and then get a list of those devices. And then you've got some performance here on the different ports that are on this OLT. So, for example, I can click on this 4 and see what's degraded. I can click on see everybody who's online. I can click and see who's online on this port. I'm going to do this just to show, again, just the customer screen. I don't want to go into a lot of detail on these different panels today. I'll do that at a future date. But if I click here, I then get a list of all of the customers on here. And this being a kind of again, a development database, we have a few fake names loaded in here with fake addresses. Most of these are just devices that we're not pulling that information in here. So you see NA under the name. Ordinarily, you'd have almost all, if not all of these, filled up with somebody's name if you had loaded the subscriber information for that particular subscriber. But in this case, we're showing the, just the MAC address on these, but we can see they're online. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these. Let's take Brittany Wall. Click on that, and this is going to load the subscriber detail information. We'll give that a minute to load, and you can see I'm getting information already here that I can see. You get a picture of what this device looks like. That's helpful. You get all kinds of information on these devices, and then you've got color-coded any kinds of alerts or warnings. So if we've got a transmit level, we've got, some of this is hard for me to see here. Let me look over here. OLT receive level, those kinds of things. Over here I've got my ports, and I can see I've got a train speed kind of warning here. It looks like yellow. And a lot of these, you can change these thresholds. We put thresholds in here that make sense. And we may even have some thresholds that don't make sense in this development database just to turn things different colors if they're doing testing all the time. So I can't say for sure if these are really out of spec or if we just have these have our thresholds set that way to make it look that way. I don't know. So again, I've got this here. I've got these different ports. I can change. It's a Gig E1 port. I can go to Gig E2 and see if anything's going on there, etc. So I've got different ports. If you have voice, I'm going to click back to Gig E1. If you've got a voice port, this one does not, that would pull up here. And then you got video right here. Then you've got your map. And you've got your customer information here. Again, this is not a real person's name. I'm sure there's a Brittany Wall in the world, but this person is not associated with this device, and this is not the location where this device really is. It is a real device somewhere out in the world, but it is not this person. It's not associated with this person, and it is not actually in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is where this map is. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can zoom out a little bit here, so you can. any nearby devices you can look at on this map here, and then I can click and see who those people are. I can also expand this map right here, and when I expand the map, I've got Brittany's information here on the side, and again I can see these people, and I can get a little bit more information now. When I click on them, I can see if they are experiencing a similar issue. And obviously things don't look good here, so I think some of this may be manufactured stuff as far as not looking good just for our own purposes for development. But again, I can see this information here. If I wanted to look at another person, like I'm looking at Brittany now, if I want to say, well, let's see what's going on over here, I can easily click right here and say view details, and I will pull up the page for that customer, and that would be Kiana Christensen right there. Again, not her real name and not a real phone number or address. You see here, again, the same information that we can look at. This particular one does have, looks like a voice port on here, so you can see some of the information there. The ability to ping right there. Got a ping in other places if, in this case, there's not an IP address available to ping, but if there was, I could ping that as well. So, and then one other thing I want to talk about on the map as I go in here is anytime you pull up, actually I wasn't going to, no, that was going to be something I was going to talk about later. So on the map here, there are some filters, so I can look at the status. So I want to see online, offline, or degraded. I could select that, and actually then I'd have to hit run, and I don't think there's, let's see if anything shows up. So there's one device here, so it'll filter out based on that. That one's showing as degraded. I can, let's see, click run again. And to everybody, I can look at a vendor if there's a particular vendor. In this case, looks like there's just the one right there. And then the model, if there's just one vendor, let's see, let's pick a vendor. And that will ask me what model. And it looks like there's a couple different models here. So I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna pick one, see if I've got any there. Click run. And you can see that filters it out. So if you wanna, if you're trying to compare, okay, who's got a particular device out in the field, you can do that. There's a lot you can do with this particular mapping in here. It's very intelligent. And again, it kind of helps you just kind of go down the road and see what's going on if you're having issues. This would be very helpful. For example, if you had an outage of some kind, maybe fiber cut, you can see who's online, who's not, and then really kind of zero in. So even though fiber is more reliable than, let's say, a DOCSIS cable plant, you know, with DOCSIS you've got potential RF issues on the signal there. When you've got fiber, you have much less with that. You basically get it set up, but there's still going to be issues, right? So you still could have fiber cuts, you know, storm come through, you could still have lasers going bad, those kinds of things that you know, could be impacting service. So this is something I think that all service providers need. And again, you can see how easy it is. So this is something, again, call center staff or your central office staff, head-end staff can look at this and get a quick view of how things are going on the fiber plant. And again, if you've got both fiber and DOCSIS, that's just a double plus right there, because this is one tool where you can look at an OLT or a CMTS or an ONT and a cable modem all from the same screen. You just click around and you get a very similar view on all of that information. So thanks for joining me today for Tech Tuesday. Again, this is the first in a series. So next Tuesday, I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on some of these features, on some of these things, if you're interested in that. So make sure that you join me. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the bell, and you'll be notified when I'm live. I'm also live every day at different times of the day for broadband deployment news when I'm talking about what's going on with broadband deployment. You know, we've got a lot of federal dollars that are coming, and specifically this week, we are expecting the notice of funding opportunity for the IIJA, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. That's got in the BEAD program $42.45 billion. And we're going to find out this week more details about what the states are going to have to do in order to get funding from that they will then subgrant out to people in their states. So that is coming this week, I believe on Friday. That's what they've said. How late on Friday, I don't know. So I may be talking about that on Friday and giving you some details, or it may be late in the day, in which case I'll be going over it Monday, but be sure to join me for that. So thanks again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.